Yeah, carry on.
That's it then. So we're calling
Yeah.
this is a the illegal eviction take back due to Margaret of the clan Bass, or Margaret Bass as we've been calling Margaret. Basically, we've witnessed over the last well, we've personally witnessed over the last 3 videos I've been doing with Margaret, showing the total corruption within the system, within the court system, within the police system, within the council system, and how they're basically working together with paper terrorism, basically. In other words, the paperwork that they're using is there's no authority of it. There's nothing authentic about it. And but regardless to whether it's got any authority or not, the alleged policemen and alleged bailiffs and alleged courts are producing this material. And like I say, the police, the alleged police, because we can't really call them police until they've identified themselves, and the alleged bailiffs, because we can't call them bailiffs either because they haven't identified themselves. They're enforcing this paperwork as though it's authentic and legitimate, and it is valid. But obviously, Anthony, along with Margaret, have been non-stop emailing and requesting the required information to validate and authenticate what they're saying is this paperwork, and they have totally failed up to this date. But I'll leave Anthony from now on to tell you a little bit more about it. Okay, over to you, Anthony.
Yeah, well, this brave lady, Margaret, I believe for the moment you got some COVID symptoms, Margaret.
Yes.
Symptoms mean the police beat you up and you're a bit dizzy and your hearing is affected, and you don't know whether it's COVID, but it's symptoms, yeah?
Yes.
So, so yeah, these people, how many years they've been on your case now, on your back?
Since 2018.
Right, and you've complained to all the authorities. You've got some very good results in some ways, like the lender told you in writing they don't have any
proof of
any evidence of any record of you owing them any money.
Yes.
And the court told you, Northampton County Court, they don't have any record of a claim or a case management, and they're not been able to
in the file.
yeah, they're not been able to show your court file at all.
No.
And you keep having bits of paper, most of it hand delivered by unknown people.
Yeah.
That there is a court case, but you've never received the claim form or the bundle of the claim, the evidence, and so on. But this is a court case.
Yes.
And then they broke your door. They came so many times. So this time they broke your door and everything. Yeah. And you demanded the warrant.
Yeah.
And you got an N49 document from the court, which is not a court document at all. It's a document from Westlaw, which you can download of the internet, blank, with a code stamp built in.
Yes.
So you've passed that on to the police, who've repeatedly refused to assist you.
Yes.
And they're asking questions. They're asking you where you got it.
Yes. Now that's what they're asking now.
Right. So they didn't. There was two. How many people were there saying they're police? 2 or 3? I can't.
3. 2 men and 1 woman. Yeah.
3 people saying they're police officers.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give you their names.
No.
And the other 4 people saying they're bailiffs, so you don't know who they are. None of them identified themselves.
At all. None of them. They refused to identify themselves. The bailiff said to me, she can't hear me. One of the ladies, she said she can't hear me. When I said, can you identify yourself? Show me your ID, show me your badge. You said, I can't hear you.
And this was on Facebook Live, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 7 people came to your house and you don't have the name of a single one.
No.
and you've asked everybody, you've asked the court, the police, the council, and they don't, nobody's giving you any of the names or the
No.
warrant or nothing.
No.
So for now, the SRA, Paul Phillip, he's the chief there, say they're investigating the matter
Yeah.
because they fob you off for how many months? Yeah, fob off
Yeah.
while the crime is going. But I think when you gave them the N49 fake warrant and the link
Yeah.
where it's on the internet at Westlaw website, all of a sudden they say we're investigating it.
Yes.
But they say they're investigating, and still you're getting papers saying there is a court case.
Yes.
And you, Mr. What's the solicitor called? Tiara.
Tiara. Yeah.
Tiara
Ranjit
Tiara. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he say that he's not answering anything.
No, it doesn't. They don't answer anything. All of them.
You're getting papers with his name with no signature, saying there is a court thing. That's all.
Yeah.
So,
and a court bill, a court cost.
Yeah. Cost. Yeah. Cost, which included court fees.
Yeah.
And you're saying, where's the receipt for these fees you're claiming?
Yes.
And they don't, nobody answers.
Nobody answers. No.
You ask your bank, people are adding court fees to the mortgage.
Yeah.
Where's the receipt for these fees, the VAT receipt? So nobody's on. So we're saying, or you're saying, the public officials so far, we're talking about George Candler, which is the council chief. You've had, how many years you've had the complaint there, Margaret?
Since 2-3 years now. Yeah, 3 years.
3 years.
2008. Yeah, 18. Yeah.
Right. George Candler is the chief executive. You've written to him directly. Kevin Sadler from the HMCTS. Nick Adderley, the chief constable of Northampton Police. Paul Phillip of the SRA. And other ones. But you've written to all these chief executives because it's the chief executive who bears vicarious liability. And they're covered under the Companies Act and Section 12 of the Fraud Act. That's why they get so much money. So they can, if necessary, pay out this liability. It's not for overseas holidays and overseas bank accounts. But the very interesting thing, Margaret, with Nick Adderley, the police wrote back to you and say he has no personal involvement in the matter.
Yes.
But you wrote to him personally before you were raided.
Yeah.
And these constables come under his jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And furthermore, if they are not police that are impersonating police wearing the uniform, it's also Nick Adderley that's responsible.
Yeah.
Now, the next interesting twist, Nick Adderley has been in some scandal with some American people where he made derogatory comments. A person was killed in front of the police station in a car accident, I believe. And as a result, the whole building in Northampton where the American employees were, they all shut down the building and repatriated everyone back to America. So then I personally had some alleged speeding ticket in Northampton where it says I was speeding between A and A, the same time and the same time. And it's got Nick Adderley's name on it. And then we had 2 court case numbers. I wrote to the CPS. They said they don't recognize those case numbers and they're investigating it. So Nick Adderley is involved. Now we have proof in counterfeit court cases.
Yes.
And then I've asked them high and low. I've done data subject requests and everything, and they can't produce nothing. next thing I know, I have from these people called the Cedar Group, your good friends, Nilu, that they have a warrant on these fake case numbers that the CPS said they don't know anything about. So Nick Adderley is in the middle of it. And now they're saying he's got no involvement. Now, so they came, it was live on Facebook. They threw you out. The people who said they were police, well, we got no evidence they're police.
No.
They manhandled you and physically chucked you out, and you have a suspected broken bone. Your head is all messed up.
Yeah.
And then they boarded up your house with these metal shutters.
Yes.
You don't know who these people are, what authority. So you went and took the metal shutters off at your own cost.
Yeah.
Never mind the court fees. Now you have incurred costs to remove things that were illegally placed on your property.
Yes.
So you've taken it back. You're there. You haven't had the warrant or anything for your inventory.
No.
Or your bits because they have to do a warrant inventory for your items inside the house where they took control of your goods.
Yeah.
And if anything is missing, blah, blah, blah. And then they had builders in there. So between the fake police, illegal bailiff, and the builders, God knows what you're missing. Don't tell me now. I don't want to know. But I know. And after you moved in, Margaret, before you've complained to the council, 3 years now on this harassment, illegal eviction and harassment.
Yeah.
And the police gave you a letter. You filed a crime report, a letter that the council must investigate it.
Yeah.
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 And what has the council done?
Nothing.
Okay, but then you had a paper, unsigned paper, council tax, said you don't need to pay council tax anymore because you've been evicted.
Yeah, they just sent me a council statement. I thought it was my council payment, my council statement. Right. But when I look at the bottom of it, it says account closed.
Yeah. So they were responding lightning quick to the illegal eviction.
Yeah.
After it happened, but 3 years and they did nothing, even though they had letters from the police. Also, the information commissioner, because you reported somebody's using your name in all these court papers and fake warrants. The information commissioner said what?
You said it's not for them to deal with. It's an issue for the police to deal with.
They said you must go to the police.
Yeah.
So the information commissioner sends you to the police, and the police send you to the council.
Yes.
And the council did nothing. But after you were illegally evicted, they sent you a council tax thing to say the account closed.
Yes.
So can you see now they're all working together?
Yes.
They're withholding the services from you.
Yes.
They're working together simultaneously withholding services. Yeah. This is I'll repeat it again. George Candler, that's the chief of the council, Northampton. Kevin Sadler, the chief of the HMCTS. And Caroline, what's her name? Susan Ackland, who has gone now. I think she's had too many letters like yours, Margaret. Nick Adderley, the chief constable of Northampton. Paul Phillip, the chief executive of the Solicitors Regulation Authority.
Yeah.
And the land registry. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Hayes something. The land registry chief. He's resigned, and another one, Mr. Hayes, has come in. But they keep telling you got no merit on your case when what they're saying is completely against the evidence.
Yes.
And the Financial Ombudsman Service, you gave them a letter from the lender saying they don't have any record of any debt.
Yeah.
And they still rule against you.
Yes.
How?
Yeah.
What kind of world is this?
Yeah.
You know,
very frustrating.
so you got gang violence Yeah. And everyone is standing around, joining hands, forming a ring around you to protect the gangsters. And there is apparently nothing you can bloody do.
No, because it's deliberate. They're just doing it deliberately. Yeah.
Unbelievable. So they're withholding services from you. And, you know, from the evidence, they're engaging in all this violent crime and pretending they're not. It can't happen without all of them withholding the service
At all.
simultaneously. If one of them acted, you know, the SRA need to prosecute this Rajit Tiara for counterfeit. Kevin Sadler needs to just administratively declare that this case is void and implement the court's anti-fraud policy. Yeah. Which is very serious. Carry on, Neil.
Can we find out the name of the council, the name of the police, you know, the bank, the name of the bank? Could we have some like criminal charges here, public criminal charges against the? Because what I'm gathering here is that Margaret is a grandmother. She's a woman. The main thing is that she's vulnerable, right? And these people come in uniforms. We don't know who they are. So surely Margaret would have reported this matter to the police, and then we're now going to follow up the crime report of that report that she made to the police to say all these things that we're saying are a crime. We're not going to use, you know, like things like the word is not eviction. It is actually terrorism, state terrorism.
It's certainly not eviction.
No, because they had to be legitimate. It has to be a legal process. And what it is daylight robbery of homes in England. Every day, homes are being stolen from the most vulnerable women, families, and the ultimate goal is to house criminals in your property because they've got a network of criminals. And they need to pretend that they're really important people so that they can just walk around in their uniforms and pretend to be High Court and Appeal Court and Supreme Court judges. Yeah. And they come from nowhere. So what they're doing is asset grabbing. I mean, I don't even, you know, want to talk about the GC MAF case because it's so painful. But the assets they stole from those people, these people invested millions of their life savings into this GC MAF project because they really want to save lives. They really want to stop cancer, people dying from cancers and children suffering from autism. They've stolen their complete assets, their cars, their aeroplanes, their, you know, stocks of GC MAF to make sure that nobody gets it. Everyone must die from cancer. You know, we must be thrown on the streets because we honorable people, you know, we don't deserve to live with a roof over our head. We deserve to sit in the streets and starve to death. That's what these criminals think is going to happen. Yeah. So these people who put the metal shutters up, we know who they are, don't we, Anthony?
Yeah.
What's the name? I forget now. Clearview.
Clearway. But they have all their subsidiary companies, you know.
Yeah. So Anthony, tell me, who has got the authority to live with a dog outside your front door with a van like they did for me? How could they put a dog through that even? You know, to stop me going back into my house. So now what we really want is to make sure now Margaret is under threat of being kidnapped again and having her home stolen again. What are we going to do to stop that happening now? Because she's terrified of a knock or a door breaking. Did they actually break your door, Margaret?
Yeah, they break all the doors in the house, the 3 doors, the whole door, the patio door, the back door, the front door.
Her granddaughter was there.
Did you have to change your lock? Sorry?
My granddaughter was on holiday. She was terrified. Up till now, she's still shaking. She was terrified.
But all these people walking through your house, going in your underwear drawers, You know,
Yeah.
7 people came in the woman's house, dragged her out.
How many men? How many women?
It was 3 women, 4 men.
And how did you secure yourself now? You changed the locks. You had to put a lot of money into it.
Yeah.
No, not
Because
changing locks. They took all her windows out, Nilu,
Yeah.
They took
and
all
put
the glass.
metal shutters.
Yeah.
And they basically made it so it was not habitable.
Yeah. They took
It's
the glass
it's terrorism.
out from the
Terrorism.
frame.
They
Yeah.
put these
Yeah.
metal things that have holes in it so the breeze comes through, and take all the glass out, the double glazing out. I mean, and not one of the people have been identified. Oh, I will tell you this bit because we don't want this video too long. I want to finish in a minute, but listen, tell you something else.
Mm.
Margaret called 101 to ask what are the names of these police officers who alleged police officers who came to the house. 101 said, we don't have to give you their names. So the next day, Margaret called again and said, how did these police come to my house? Who called them out? What time were they called? And what crime was reported for them to come out? What did 101 say, Margaret?
They said they can't give out their names. I need to. They will give me a link to go to that link to request for that information.
Yeah, they gave you the runaround. And what happened when you click the link?
It's about making a complaint. It's about if I have a complaint, make a complaint.
But they didn't give you. Okay, but when for the police to come out, somebody must call them.
Yeah.
There must be a log of the call. Who called them? They must have reported a crime, not a civil matter. What crime was reported? It's your house. Somebody reported a crime in your house, and they can't tell you. And what time were they called?
They said there is no crime.
There is no crime, and you are. Why is the police there then?
That's what I said. They said there is no crime. They can only give me the incident number. There is no crime.
So they physically grabbed you and dragged you out of your house, and there was no crime.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is, we can beat you up, and it's not a crime. I had the same problem. I wrote to President Dick with mine. I was locked in jail, and the President Dick's reply was, it's a civil matter. What happened here? I saw a monkey on my screen.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I tried to screen share to try and find the metal boarding of my house, and I'm trying to
I thought it was Nick Adderley for a minute. But
just to recap on
carry on, Andy.
Just to recap on this for the people, because just remember, guys, first they came for, then they came for, so eventually, I'm telling you, they're going to come for everybody. We either stop them or they stop us. Yeah. So just to recap, this was all done by a piece of paper, yeah, that you can go onto the internet and download yourself. The only difference is you are not going to have the backing, whoever it is in these uniforms that are dressing up in uniforms, that to come around and enforce it. That is the only difference. But this is exactly what's happening. And there's not one man or woman with any of these public services that are willing to hold out and do what they're paid and their duty is to do, which is provide the material evidence to substantiate their claims. Instead, all they're doing, every single one of them, is withholding their services, just like Anthony's saying. They are withholding their services from you to stop you from getting justice. Yeah. And
yeah, but what are we going to do? What can we do? We need to focus on what we're going to do about this. This has to stop.
Okay. Well, we got to give credit to Margaret. She's been fighting for 3 years. 3 years, Margaret?
Yeah, 3 years.
So she has, whatever she has done, she has kept them at bay for 3 years. So that is something, Nilu. Small achievement.
You know, but you can't live like that. Anthony,
I understand.
3 times. They keep coming and coming and coming until you say, I cannot fight this anymore. And
yeah.
So many times. They know that. They know.
Yeah. They know 100%.
She's a vulnerable woman, and she's terrified of living in her own home in a democratic country. Okay. This is the problem. It's not a democracy. It's a dictatorship. We are just caged human beings in our homes, okay? Bottom line is they can kill us, they can steal from us, they can do anything to us, and there's nothing we can do about it. This is the United Kingdom. This is meant to be the most civilized country in the world.
Yeah.
As the saying goes,
This is happening every day.
Every day. Thousands and millions.
This is just one example of hundreds of thousands of women who've had their children stolen, their homes stolen, their property stolen, laptops, mobile phones. They get dragged out, they're put in a cell, and then they're put in a mental health secure unit. Sabine McNeil said 75% of women in Bronzefield prison have had their children stolen in Europe. They've been trafficked over to Bronzefield. And the same thing I've been told by Linda Thayer, that the mums in France have had their children stolen in the UK. And this is, you know, work it out. We're just fodder. We're just a slaughterhouse. We're sheep in a slaughterhouse. Anthony, we cannot allow this to continue for another day. This has got to stop right now. It's got to stop. It's no good saying that they won't give their names. We don't know who they are, because these people then get sent abroad. They get put in their robes, with their priest robes, and they go to the orphanages and pretend to be priests. Where they've got the little girls in the orphanages in Africa, China, India. We're catching these people, and they live like millionaires in England. This is where the millionaires' homes are being used, mansions. I have a case with a lady who had 10 mansions. They were being used for children's homes to abuse children. And when she reported the guy who was running the children's home, he was sent to jail. And then they kidnapped her and her son, put her son in care, and stole all her mansions, all her fast cars, horses. Come on, you know, we got to deal with the fact that these are criminal networks, these are global networks. And we're just, Anthony, I wouldn't be surprised if this is to do with that. All our friends are going to get done like that, just to show how powerful these people are.
Well, we've already been done, Nilo. You had your house taken by what do you call these people? Enforcement agent who don't have any authority to evict people anyway. They said they had a writ can't evict you. We had it all. We're doing our best. And we're hoping we can inspire a few people and embarrass those others. We just put the name up on Facebook, all their names, when everybody think they're in a respectable job, getting all their awards and their medals, like Cressida Dick. By the way, you find out they're fake.
She's in that book, Anthony. You know the book called Mischief Makers by Field Cornell.
Okay.
She's in that book. She with Cherry Blair and with Louise DeMambro, who's running the Supreme Court. If you look into that book called Mischief Makers, you can download it, it's free of charge. They have a system called Video Guard. It's a computer system that connects all the courts all over the world. And what they do is they plant child porn on the computers of the judges all over the world. They frame them and they use that to blackmail them into doing whatever they want.
Yeah, they get them to join the Mason, all kind of different things. But all I'm concentrating on here is I want to bring attention to the wider public that the public officials like Nikhil Rathi from the FCA chief, you know, Paul Phillip at the SRA, what's his name? Anthony something from
but Anthony, are these people real? Are these real names? Can you set up a company with fake names? You know
people, that's standard procedure for people.
Anthony, what was that bit of research you asked me to do recently? Nicholas.
Oh, with Nicholas Stubbs with Cedar Group illegal bailiffs. Yeah.
What was my conclusion about that? I think they've got fake names.
There was a law firm with the same director with a very similar name.
There's this theft of ID. Anthony, the whole company's house is full of theft of ID, because I had that. And these social workers are using fake IDs, you know, and all these people, even if you get their real name, they've changed their name. This thing about changing names, everybody who's a criminal will change their name. So how do you find out where they've gone, who they are? They'll be around the world somewhere doing things.
Well, that's why when you ask for ID, it is such a powerful thing, because they're very scared. At the very least, they flash the ID. No, you must take a photograph of the ID. I had this bailiff, isn't it, Andy? What's his name? Not Kevin Brady. He's another one. Can't remember his name, but he's he showed the ID, and when we came and checked on the bailiff register, he's not there. And then I will just a little side issue on this bailiff. I looked on his LinkedIn profile, and he made a comment about somebody. He said they should bring back hanging. Now, this is a man that's going around terrorizing babies, yeah, and stealing and all that violent. He's at the front end of the line with a gang, and he's saying they should bring back hanging. That means he does not believe the law applies to him. You understand? He's got protection from all these people. But we managed to get a bailiff struck off, which I thought was the only one ever. But then I heard that, what's that guy?
Dave Witcher.
Dave Witcher also had one struck off. So if that's the first one and the second one, maybe the tap is opening, you know? But the thing is, Nilo, I know you want a big solution. We all do. But only thing we can do is the maximum we can do, the best we can do each day, and hope something will trigger something, an avalanche. But people, they're resigning in large numbers, Nilo. A lot of things is happening behind the scene. Cressida Dick, I understand she's gone now. We done that video on the petition called Dick War, bit.ly Dick War. I'll put it in the Facebook link. That, and emailed it to every MP in the country, because she was caught falsifying warrant. Now it's one warrant she was caught, but I believe she's done many. And finally, she's gone. So she's not gone to jail, but the thing is, things are moving in some small way, and if you crack the egg, it'll break easily. But we can only do the best we can, and encourage a lot of people not to roll over and just die. Just fight back a little bit. We're trying to give tools to fight back, and we're trying to put the government under some kind of pressure to stop these practices, which the social media has allowed us to expose now in a way we could never do before. When Margaret had these 7 people in the house, it was live on Facebook. Okay, we should have gone there and maybe made citizens arrest and this and that. But the fact is, we did something that is very profound, very powerful, which we're able to do. So we have to focus on what we can do and try to increase that, you know. But otherwise, the world is going to go back into some Orwellian kind of setup, which is they're trying very hard now to do.
Just to cap off, and the reason, just to let people know that we'll see this video when we update it, I'm just going to show you something else what they are doing. So if this wasn't important, what we're doing right now, Facebook would not be doing what they're doing. Okay, so Facebook doing what they're doing is showing you the very simple factor that, look, on here you'll see nobody's viewing, nobody's watching it. Okay, and you'll see on here I've asked no viewers, can anyone see this video? So again, Facebook doing its duty, because if you want to know what the solution is, what I personally believe the solution is the people, because the people are the law. We are the land, we are the air, we are the water, and we are the ones that make this. So what I was saying at the first place was I'll stop here. Can you see the fact that it's yeah? I'll stop.
Yeah, the part. Yeah.
So you can see the fact, just so that on the recording, just to show you that this is what Facebook do. Like last time, last time I was on the video, they showed the video had been finished. They showed the live stream had now.
Yeah.
So I'm just showing you to the people to understand this is how the social media is being used against the people from getting what needs to be getting out there. Because at the end of the day, if everybody, and as I said last time, when you witness this crime in process, when those criminals were taking and kicking and forcefully dragging Margaret out of her house and stealing her property, yeah, I said, phone the police now. Everyone should be phoning the police now. And again, you should be phoning the police now, because there is nothing but paper terrorism that's being enforced by evil criminals, because they're ignorant, very, very ignorant, because not one of them has ever cared. Or in fact, you can't even really give it. The fact that they're withholding their services, the fact that they're not even attempting, they will do everything in the means to get out of answering what they know that they haven't got. So then you know that they're complicit. They're all complicit in this, because they're all by their own actions, by their own deeds. You can see it, and you can see it in the words that they say. So the pressure of the people by making them phone calls is what it's always about, the people.
It makes a huge difference. I mean, Cressida Dick is gone over fake warrants. I mean, this is huge. And the last person we had this kind of, well, not the last person, but successful take back, the only one I know of, is the one with Toby Lee, which I'm putting up back on the Facebook comments now. It's called the 7-step scam. It can be found on the internet.
I should have done that one, but I mean, really what it all comes down to is the people. But the people need to understand what it is that they're reporting. And so, like I say, remember, this paperwork, you can go and get it. Anybody can go and get it. I could create a Canva account. I could create my own Word account and could make these documents up myself. Anybody can make these documents. The only difference between me making them up and getting them enforced is I haven't got the people, the criminals within inside the system that will go and enforce these pieces of paper.
They're withholding. You haven't got the criminals to withhold their service, because they're supposed to arrest these people, lock them up. It's a 7-year offense. So they're withholding the service. So all the public officials are withholding services and acting as an accessory to the crime, which they all benefit in some way, or other.
Yeah, that's true. Because Anthony, sorry, I didn't tell you. The day before yesterday, I called organization called Voice in Northampton. They work with the police for people who are vulnerable. So somebody asked me to call them, and I called them. And when I talked to them, they were very sympathetic. They were very ready to support me. They said, even do you need somebody to come with you to court? I said, yes, everything. So they said, okay, we get back to you. So in about 20 minutes, they got back to me, and they even order a body alarm for me, house alarm for me, alarm for my door and everything. And then they called the police to get the crime number. The police told them, I don't know what the police told them. They just said to me, oh, we have called the police. I'm sorry, we can't help you. I was shocked.
Because all the charities, Citizens Advice, all of them are withholding services. Once you tell them about a fake court order, they will never, in my experience, investigate it. Once the Citizens Advice is helping people with debts every day, and they're being sent there. Citizens Advice is a charity. Who is funding the charity? The criminals are funding the charity. So they will never verify if the debt is valid or not. They will help you to manage and pay, but at the end of the day, they want you to pay, even if it's false. So this is what we have. They're withholding the service to tell you that this is a false debt. Do not pay it. Let's file a crime report against these people for embezzlement or theft. So anyway, shall we call it a day?
Anthony, can I just say?
Sure.
Is it Nottingham that we
No,
Northampton.
And Northampton is where the this court is, isn't it? The remote court.
Yes.
And they've got quite a few criminal activities going on up there. They're managing the theft of homes, aren't they? Because they were involved with my theft of my home. Because it's all coordinated with the local council. So it's Equita. It's the Equita, Anthony, that runs the local councils. Or
Capita.
So Capita has got a global network, and at the center of the global network is Northampton.
Yes.
That's where they're stealing houses from. That's where they send all your the bailiff situations are all done through them.
Yeah.
So basically we're run by criminals. This country is not a democracy, it's a criminal
No.
empire. It's a global headquarters of a criminal empire that they get people from all over the world to train them, to train people from Africa, India, China, everywhere how to be criminals. And then they send them through the charities. Anthony, these charities are full of these criminals. So if these charities start to go outside their memorandum of understanding, then they're not going to get traffic to bigger jobs, you see. So if the Charity Commission was told about this, that charity should be shut down. All charities that are participating and contracting with the criminal networks need to be shut down by the Charity Commission. A Charity Commission is sitting on the entire global wealth of this planet, which is $450 trillion. Swiss Indo, when it gives out the 1 quintillion, will buy out the entire global network, criminal network, overnight. We're fighting with our tails. And you know, we're going to go around in circles. We have to stop fighting with the corporate structure and just say, we don't require your services, okay? Margaret Bass is a goddess. She's a woman, she's a mother, she's a grandmother. Leave her alone. If you come anywhere near her, you'll be guilty of treason and it's still hanging. We have to give the sentencing here, where this is a public platform, it's a public petition. We're petitioning for Margaret Bass to live in her home as a grandmother, mother, woman, in her own home safely without fear of terrorism by treasonous criminals pretending to be public servants. That's the bottom line. That's all we're asking. It's not a lot. Leave her alone. Just leave her alone. Just leave me alone as well. Just leave the women alone.
Talking about,
can you imagine a woman on her own can't get any support from any authority, nobody, no council, no police, no SRA. It's unbelievable.
Because this network is run by brotherhoods, secret societies, Freemasons. They're all men. They own women in this country. They only own women. That's all they do.
In a nutshell, tells you exactly what's happening. The US Supreme Court ruling: no corporation, no corporate jurisdiction over the natural man or woman. Okay, and it says here, no corporate jurisdiction over the natural man. Supreme Court of the United States, 1979, in as much as every government is an artificial person, an abstraction, a creature of the mind only. A government can interface only with other artificial persons. The imaginary, having neither actually nor substance, is foreclosed from creating and attaining priority with the tangible. They can't deal with the men and women. This is what it all is. So it's all of the mind, and it's got the minds, it's got the programming of the order followers that are just doing their orders without no morals, because no order followers got morals. So this is to you, Mr. Policeman and women out there, that are enforcing, because without you, none of this could actually happen. And remember, you're men and women, So no government can tell you, they've got no authority over you, They have no jurisdiction to, and you're taking them shekels, you're taking that 30 shekels to go and do your job. You're taking that 30 shekels to go and invade and steal another woman's property and damage her by dragging her out of her own property while you're stealing it. Shame. The shame is, to me, it's not me. The shame is on all you guys, and it's you that have done it, So ultimately, stop it. Stop it now. Let's turn it around. Let's turn it around.
People will, at some point, people will have enough, because it's all coming on the internet, and before the news, the news will never publish it. Carry on, Nilu.
Sorry, thanks, Margaret. If I was you, I mean, when they did things to me, I made my home address public. I invited people to come to my home whilst they were stealing it, or I invited them to come when I tried to get my things back from the house. So I don't know if you want to consider making your address public. And I don't know how my brothers think, but I certainly think there's security in going public with your address. So if people are nearby, they can keep an eye on you, and they can be they can offer to help you. If you have any people at the door, they can come round. What do you think, brothers and sister?
Well, the problem
Yeah.
with that is, if I can quickly butt in there, is the wolf in sheep's clothing issue. Understand?
Yeah.
But we had Mr. Ebert set up a big thing called Victims Unite, and it got so big. And then they started to send their people in, cause different problems. And some of the people they sent in, unfortunately, believe it or not, was his own family.
Yeah.
Sabotage. So, you know, it's a good idea, but you have to be careful at the same time. When Rika Patel had her problems, a lot of people came. They were camping in the garden. There's a lot of support. But you know, this is my idea. Everybody got to focus on the fake warrant. It is not a warrant. N49 is not a court document. It carries 7 years in jail, and we've got to bully these people to do their jobs. And whatever support Margaret can get, she gets. But right now, you know, it's.
Yeah, sorry, Anthony.
Yeah.
I've even put my situation in Next Door. There is something there, this new app called Next Door Neighbor.
Okay.
The moment I wrote it there and said that illegal eviction is
Yeah.
going on, I think it's one of them. He just came out and said, "Oh, she's just saying this. She's just saying that this is a scam. This is a scam." And since then, I never put anything there. So the thing is that most people don't believe you. Most people don't believe you.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? If somebody watched this video now, they will believe you. Yeah. And on the comments and all the other videos and the link and the petition and the people who are resigning, they will believe it. So you're always going to get some people genuinely don't believe, and they might have been brainwashed. I just posted on the Facebook log the Toby Lee situation. We had such a massive thing with Toby Lee. He took his house back successfully, went to fight off the police. We got to do all sorts of things. And it's the first case I'm aware of in history. Somebody successfully take back their house. Nowhere can you find it published. Yeah?
No, they cover up.
Then Toby Lee went to help somebody in the hospital. I don't know the full story. I don't know anything about it. But they said he went and he was illegally taking a baby out of the hospital or helping the I don't know what was going on. And it's in so many papers all over the world.
Yeah.
The same Toby Lee. So I put a blog out on Publish OX, and I called the blog Toby Lee and the Media Mafia, because they publish on one issue and don't publish on the other issue, even though it's out there. When I put his case on the petition, I emailed about 400 journalists. Where are they?
Yeah.
But they were all publishing. So the thing is, we're talking a court order scam. It's a bit like the publicity. They can come and get a fake court order, no proof of claim, no nothing, no case management, no fee paid, they can't show the warrant.
Yeah.
And no, despite this evidence, you cannot get a court order to regularize your position.
And Anthony, even when the warrant is fake, even they never show the warrant. It's
they
never
don't.
valid.
They can't. It's not they won't. They can't.
It's not an issue, Anthony. This is gun control. This is literal force of vulnerable people. A woman cannot stand and argue with 7 people, 3 women and 4 men. You cannot have a conversation with these people. They're told, get her house, get her throw her out, take possession, put the metal shutters on, and they're going to do that. Nothing is going to stop them, Anthony. This is predetermined theft of a property from a vulnerable woman. No amount of verbal is going to change what they are going to do and not do. If they're on strict orders, it's military action, it's terrorism action, right? It's no point in spending any more time about another incident and another incident and another incident. This has got to stop. This is a crime of treason, and that these people have to be prosecuted for treason. All people who've ever participated in theft of children, theft of homes, they're participating in child abuse, child porn industry, child trafficking, child prostitution. You know, there's a police officer that was jailed for 94,500 images and videos of extreme child porn. His name is Stephen Cadec
Maitland.
and Christopher
Maitland and
from
Stephen.
Barnet. They're from Barnet, Anthony, from
Yeah.
your end, yeah?
They were my child protection officers.
Well, there you go.
Imagine.
Anthony, go. Now we need to deal with the real issue, yeah? Because these people are still running the country. They're running this country. Those people from Barnet are running the whole world. They're running the whole child prostitution, pornography industry of the world. They're procuring children for these.
There is a link. There is a link. What they call
this stuff, Anthony, and the whole of the global industry is trafficking in this money, blood money, rape money, child torture money. Come on, Anthony, we've got to move on from why they're stealing these houses. They're doing this stuff. They're going to put their you know, this children and the foster parents in these houses. That's what they're doing. These foster parents need houses. They suddenly arrive from nowhere. You know about Carol Wood's house. These women just turned up at the door and they're running some kind of therapy there. You know, therapy ? Therapy, right?
Mhm.
Come on, we've got to join the dots now.
there's some dodgy people living in my house. There is a male and a female, but they're not a couple. But the house is on a trust, and none of the papers haven't been signed at the land registry. No stamp duty been paid. No land registry fees.
Well, they basically, that's what I'm saying, Anthony. Most of the assets are stolen, and then they're off the grid. There's an entire village in Northern Ireland, an entire village called Coal Island, Island, COAL, and it's full of foster parents. It's full of foster children. Come on, Anthony. They're all off the grid. Do you know, if you go on the map of England now, there are entire villages. They're off the grid. Anthony, you just said it about your property. It's off the grid. Yeah.
Mm.
Right?
Come
Come on, we've got to look at what they're not
getting.
showing us.
We're asking.
Don't need to see what's in front of us. We need to see what they're not showing us.
Okay,
there's
well,
$1 quintillion worth of assets, not 450 billion. It's 2,000 times more. Your pound is worth £2,000. Come on.
Just as a finisher on this, just to show what Facebook, again to remind you that this is the media, this is what the social media do. So I'm going to show you again, Facebook, still no one watching my views, and no one answered any of my questions. Yeah, so that's what Facebook do.
Andy, brother, could you upload it to YouTube, and then I'll download it, and then I'll put it on my YouTube.
I will do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
Okay.
Well, thanks everybody. But the public, we're asking you, come on board, help this lady. Phone the Northamptonshire police if you can. It's the best thing, and say what is going on. Where is the warrant?
Where's the
And
warrant?
when are these people going to be arrested? It's as simple as that. And you know, we've done it with Toby Lee. One success.
Yeah, the company is called Paratos AMC Limited, and their solicitor is called Lightfoot.
Lightfoot with Ranjit Tiara, and again, they're putting some ethnic minority people to make the false claims and all that. But listen, thank you very much. God bless you, Margaret. Please pray for Margaret.
Margaret, do you have a Facebook page? Can you get on Facebook?
Yeah. I shared it on mine.
Okay. All right. People can contact Margaret through message.
Yeah. We'll put Margaret's.
Thank you.
Social media. And we're going to put it on library, we put it in the blockchain, we put it everywhere. But listen, thank you guys very much.
Thank you,
God bless.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Margaret. God bless.
Thanks.
Bye, brothers. Bye.